Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Village Group Chat. I am one half of your host, Selikka Wood.
And I'm the other half, the better half, Mike Rodgers.
True. That's how you going?
No, I mean, technically in these outtakes that we had, I was going to cut you off like you cut me off the last couple of episodes. But, you know, no, all love. No.
Pastor Mike, why we here?
Wow.
Why we here?
Wow. See, whenever you're doing something wrong, then somebody call out your title. Wow. All right. No, we are here to provide hope, encouragement, and practical tips as we navigate our family's journey. And you didn't even say here. Where are we? Welcome to what?
I said the Village Group Chat. They know why they're here.
I was kind of tuned out.
They know why they're here. I'm excited that this is we're nearing the. It's bittersweet. Let me say that we're nearing the end of the season.
Yeah.
This is episode 13, and we, after the whole rebranding and all of that, we kind of like made it. We skated through the season.
I was about to say I love some of the topics that we explored, and even just a lot of the conversations that we've had. And today we have a special treat for all of our listeners, our viewers.
Yes, I know everybody sees her and was like wondering who's the new girl. She's our special guest. We can introduce her now. She's our special guest, Rachel Stafford from Tribe 139 Extreme's own. She's repping her team on her shirt. Yeah, she's repping her shirt.
Got my shirt.
Look, we're gonna do our get to know you segment, which is kind of like our icebreaker. But before we do that, I just want to let everybody know how they can connect with us. They can email us if you have anything that you want to share with us. Give us some kudos, give us some feedback. You can email us at Village Group Chat, or you can hit us up on IG at The Village Group Chat. And as always, you can connect with me on my personal IG page, no_ordinary_mom. And if for whatever reason you want to connect with him, how can they do that?
I'm just glad you're here to see all of this. And I come out of here stressed, man. my goodness. Calling my therapist.
Putting you through it.
No, mine is Mike J. Rodgers 1. And then, of course, somebody shared with me, we know how to spell your name.
Yeah, but so bad you want to say Rodgers with a D. Mike J. Rodgers.
Okay, let's just stop. We talked about this before. Since we have our first guest of the season, we're going to try to be on our best behavior.
I didn't say that. You
I
can
might
be
family.
I
can be family. I don't mind. I'll sit here and laugh.
Cool.
I can stay.
Look, let's do our getting to know you. The question I have for today is, what is a weird food combination that you love?
But I'm not going first.
Yeah. You don't want to go first? You're our guest.
A weird food combination.
Yeah, did you love?
Oh, I got mine.
You might not think it's weird.
I got it.
All right, what is it?
Mine is a Cobb salad, but with fried runny eggs.
Ew,
it's so good. If you like eggs, why are you looking on your face like that?
I didn't know you was going to pull that out.
The egg runs all over them.
I don't even like eggs. You remember I told you that. I don't like eggs, but runny eggs on a salad. Oh, it's so good.
Where did you get that from?
It's actually a restaurant in New Orleans. John Besh did it for the first time, and I came home and I was like, oh, this is really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds disgusting.
Just keep it real.
That's weird.
You're missing it.
No.
You're missing it. That's it.
All right, Mike, you got one?
Nope. What's your combination?
My combination is lasagna with applesauce.
Oh.
I don't put it on top of it. But it's like you eat some of the lasagna, then you eat the applesauce too. So it's like the hot and the cold, and then like the tomato and. That a few episodes back I was talking about how I grew up eating applesauce on the side of every single meal because my grandmother raised me, and that's just what I did. We ate applesauce with every meal, and I did it all the way up until I was like in my 20s. I used to do it with my daughter. She used to eat. Neither of us do it anymore, but that's still something that stuck with me. Eating.
It's still stuck with you to this day. Don't try to say y'all do it
right.
anymore.
I don't eat it on the side of every meal. I used to do it with every single meal. Now it's just the lasagna.
All right. So I mean,
good weird one.
I can't say it's a good weird one.
I mean, it's weird.
Of course, you wouldn't say it was good if it was.
Yeah, I don't even know if it is a combination of a unique combination. I know I did get talked about before from my boys when it came to me eating cereal. There is some cereal that the having the cereal and the milk together, it causes the cereal to get like mushy and soggy. So so I found a way to get around that, where just having the milk in the cup, then just having the cereal. So I'm eating cereal, then I'll drink the milk.
Drink the milk.
You do that now? If
Yeah.
wow.
It's funny that I do it now because I saw my son picked it up too. Yeah. And he's like, Dad, this is want some dry cereal. I got milk on the side.
Yeah. That's quirky. You know, it's a quirky habit.
Yeah, it is. I can own that now. It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but you're weird.
Wow.
Look,
I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here.
It's the silence for me just now.
Yeah.
Like how we all just got quiet.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can see what I put
All
up
right,
with.
let's hop into the episode.
Before we hop into the episode, how can they reach us though?
I already said that.
Okay, you said
Yes,
that?
I did. See, you never listen to me.
I don't. I'll just be honest with you.
You clearly never listen to me.
I really don't. You know? No, I'm go ahead, Selikka. What were you about to say?
I am excited to talk all about Tribe 139.
Yeah.
Everybody who's listening or watching, I'm sure you don't know what Tribe 139 is, but we're about to break it all down to you because we have their number one spokesperson here. Well, one of them. Yes, because you got a whole team of people kind of like, yeah, you got a team of people just championing for this. So I want to know, first, before we do that, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay.
Who are you? Do you have kids? Do you have a husband?
That part of
what do you do? Yeah, what do you do for work? You know, those type of things.
Okay. So I'll start with the fun part. So I am married to my hubby, Jay. We have been married 15 years together for 17 years.
Okay.
So we've been in it for a minute, and we have 2 that are 9 and 7.
Okay.
Is that right? No, they're 9 and 6. That is 6. Don't tell them I said that. So yeah, so they're cool. They're both in elementary at the same school this year, so that's kind of fun.
Okay.
For work, I like to describe the work I do as I am the person that likes to get the box from IKEA, and you open it up and put all the pieces together. Like I build systems, and so whether it's building a table or building some chairs or building a system, which is what I've had the fun chance to do here at church with Tribe, I like to put things together so that they work for families and leave it better than you found it.
Okay.
Wow. Where did you discover that talent from?
Putting together the table from IKEA back when I had no money. You bought the table for $69. You put all the screws out and you started putting stuff together. And then through work, I learned that I like to talk to people and I like to understand what's broken. And I have issues when things are broken and people let them stay broken. So I like to be like, oh, okay, what's going on? And then my brain instantly starts being like, well, we can do that better and we can fix that. And it doesn't have to stay broken. And so helping people like feel empowered that just because this is the way it is, it's not the way it has to always.
Yes. Okay, so tell everybody who's listening and watching, what is Tribe 139? How would you describe it?
I would describe it as community. I would describe it as a place where children from all spaces, all abilities get to come and just be at home. You know, church, it's the place where you get to go and see people you haven't seen in a long time, or if you just saw them last Sunday, get hugs and just get loved on. And so that's kind of what Tribe is. It stands for teaching, reaching, and including through biblical engagement. And so we call ourselves Tribe because it kind of grows out of, you saw last week, Pastor Stefan did a tribal moment. And during that moment, we got to meet with other people and just kind of share 1 or 2 things. I forget what the topic was, but Tribe is that it's finding your core group of folks that you connect with about life and that you kind of do life with, and you're honest and you're transparent and you're vulnerable. And so for a lot of our families that have children with special needs or disabilities, we are that for them. We want to be here to empower and equip them.
So it's specific to special needs children.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And where did that passion kind of to serve this children or families who have children with special needs, where did that develop at?
So I would say it actually just grew out of a desire to serve families that were underserved. So the story that I'll share is kind of when I was in law school, I remember sitting there and looking at my peers and being like, they're not representative of Black and brown families, but these are your future decision makers and lawyers. And so for me, it was like, okay, how do we fix that? And I thought K-12 education and special education is one of those spaces where I'm an attorney by trade, so where law and special education come together. So I used to represent families with disabilities, and it was funny. I used to work in Baltimore City, and you would have parents that came, and they'll be like, Miss Stafford, I don't know exactly what they're doing wrong, but I know it is wrong. Like, they knew their children were not being treated right. And so you have grandmas and aunties. And so just being that family advocate, knowing our families deserve more, they're entitled to more. And so we as a body of church, as a body of Christ, like, this can't be a place that families don't come, because the reality is they won't come if they don't feel welcome, if they don't feel like there's a place and a home for them. And so that's what we're trying to create, is that safe space.
Yeah, it's so crazy. We talk about this, like, when we talk about like talents and gifts, and just kind of how God has purposed us, and how like your professional, like you went to law school, like these are the families that you serve, like you received a paycheck to do that, but this was like a pain point for you, and you were able to bring that into the place where you worship, and you're able to serve in this way for families who maybe don't even know where to start, like don't have a voice, don't feel loved, maybe they feel excluded in some of their other social circles. Like you've been able to, like, that's what I feel like, that's what purpose is. Like that's how you really live out your purpose.
And that was always a passion of mine when I was in the role of children's director or children's pastor. I didn't know exactly how to go about that. So you were a answer to a lot of prayers for a lot of different people, and just your skill set kind of has paved the way for those families and for that next generation. And so I recognize and celebrate that.
Yeah, it's major. It's major. I'm not really familiar. Like, do a lot of churches, have you found that, are they doing a lot for special needs families?
No, I think the statistic, we just went to a conference, and I think they were saying it's less than 20% of churches have a space, and they said 89% of families stay home. They do not go, because for them, what we see as, like, we know what it takes to get us up and dressed and show up, but for them it is that 100-fold. And then they get to the parking lot, and then they got park, wherever they got to park, and then they got to walk in, and there's a distance between the door and children's church, and it's a lot. And sometimes it's easier just to do bedside Baptist. And so for us, I think for them to know they can come, and we do talk to the families to understand what their child needs, but just to know that I'm going to be able to go. They're going to level my child. They're going to ask me questions and really try to understand, like, how to support my child while I get fed. I think families, they see it as just a ministry to them, and it gives them a chance to have, for them to be fed so that they can then pour back into their child that upcoming week. And so it's exciting. We're appreciative that we've been given space by the church to do it.
Yeah, and build it out.
Yeah. What do you believe is the biggest misconception about children with special needs?
Well, I think for us, the challenge is that they don't. It's a want to. Like, they don't want to do better, as compared to understanding that children uniquely, they do desire to, especially when they're with their friends, like, they want to just be in the space. They want to be there. They want to get along. They want to do what you've asked them to do. It's just sometimes for our kids, they just don't have it in. They need help understanding how. So, it's no different than, like, we as adults, when we learn a new job, we have to learn a new skill set. We have to learn. We don't always give, I feel like, our children the space to do that. And so maybe they need a little bit of extra coaching, or they need an actual strategy, or they need to know, like, when I go in to this particular space, it's going to be really loud, so let me take my headphones, or this sets me off, so I'm not going to sit. Like, they just need a little bit more explicit direction, but they want to be here. They want to serve. So I think that's the biggest. I think it's more so what's the biggest. Adults, it's more so it's the adult mindset.
Yes, always.
I
always say that.
The kids come in as they come, and they like, take me or leave me. It's the adults that's like, the eye rolls and stuff. So that's where it's the mindset shift, and we're fortunate in that our church family, they see our kids and they just, okay, how can I help? What are we doing? And they flow, and it's been awesome. We're doing a volunteer Bridge the Gap, and we've had new volunteers come, and they flowed. They've been like, okay, how do we help? How do we step in? What do you need? And it's been really, like, just neat to see the kids just get loved on.
Yeah, you set the tone. I mean, you set the tone for how volunteers are expected to serve. When you treat people, with such respect and intentionality, it has no other choice but to, like, overflow into the other people who you're leading. So, and I think that it's great too that you're able, when you mention a lot of times it starts with like the parents. They're normally the ones that you kind of have to find yourself coaching. It's like the kids are good, but it's like a great opportunity to be able to partner with parents that, you know, in a way that's so subtle. It's not like you know, they don't even know you're doing it, but you can change. Who knows what their week has been like? Who knows what their day, that morning, what it took for them to get here, get to church. So for you to just be able to offer some type of grace or some type of just like, it's okay, we got you. How can we help you? Is there anything we need to know? Like, that changes like the whole trajectory of like their journey. It could. Just starting there could change how their week goes. Could change maybe how they think about whatever it is that they're facing.
And hopefully they see Christ, right? At the end of it, like at the end, we don't always know if our parents are saved or not. And so you've got the parents you're ministering to, and then you have the volunteers supporting. But for the parents, it's just like when you come in and you bring your child, may you see Christ. When you get your child returned, you know that they were loved on. You know, he says, even as you've done unto the least of these, you've done it unto me. And so yes, our parents, but they're cool.
Yeah, I'm sure. But you just you never know the impact you're making in somebody's life. Like we just had the gala, the volunteer gala, and just to Pastor Mike, you were able to be honored for the Living Legend Award. But I was going to say though, what you were doing, like the work that you've done, and so many other people as well. You never know how impactful it is until later. Like when you're doing it, you're just working. Like, I'm doing what God has called me to do, or what I've been, what I've went to school to do. Like I'm trying to make a living for my family. Like you're all of those things. And then you look back and the things that you've done is legendary. And that was never the goal. Yeah. It was never the intention.
Yeah. It's so crazy too, because time literally flies by. I remember moments when Extreme first was starting up, and I'm like, man, that was almost, 15, 16 years ago.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So for something that that Tribe 139 is doing now, you know that it's something. Yeah. It's something. Yeah. But I don't even think you guys understand the impact it's going to make in the kingdom overall. Yeah. Like years from now, or for other churches, and to be able to glean to say that this is, everybody goes to Elevation and they want what Elevation is doing or what Transformation Church is doing. Like, you guys may be the go-to for special needs ministry. This is like trailblazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, laying the foundation for something down the road.
Yeah, but it takes people like you, and y'all just had this vision, because y'all are the visionaries that have thought about this long before the worker bees, came in. And so it's awesome when you have people that are willing to take the vision and to not take no, right? Yeah. You know what it can be, and it's like, nope, we need to do this for our students, and this is what it should look like, and this is what it can look like, and we just gonna keep pushing until you say yes, and then we gonna move from there. So
I got a question though. Okay, so I want to know what the experience is like when someone comes to Tribe. So they get to the door, they've come across the parking lot, they've gotten to the door. What can they expect their child's experience to be like once their parent? Well, once they check them in, and then when they leave. I want to, when they leave, what's happening up in Tribe?
So Tribe, our experience is going to be, we really do try to give our kiddos the same experience that all of the other kids are getting. It just is a little bit more individualized. Okay. So when they come in, they're going to have a chance to be greeted by a volunteer, and we call them, this is going to be your friend for the day. And so that particular person, they're just going to love on them. They're going to find out, how was your week? What's going on? We ask like, how's it going? They get to do a little check in. They have different faces: smile, angry, upset. So we can get, how are you doing? And then from there, we just do some games and talk to them about Jesus. Tell us what it looks like, and then they get to meet up with everybody else and go into big group. And y'all know Isaiah, so he's over there cutting up on the stage, and so they do praise and worship with Isaiah, and they get to sing and dance. And then we have a story in there. And then if they're able to stay, then we let them stay. If they need a break, that's the beauty of Tribe, is that we meet people where they are. So if our students need a break at any point in time, or they need to just step away, we'll let them come out. They're able to come out, take a break in the Tribe room, And then if they're ready to go back in, they'll either go back into large group, or if they're back in small group, they will go and do their more detailed lesson. So it's individualized in the sense of we let children let us know how they feel in terms of sensory. So space, if sometimes the lights bother them, sometimes it's too loud. If they let us know that, then we're flexible, so we play with lights actually. We adjust sounds, we have headphones, things like that. If it's too crowded, sometimes it's a lot of people, it's a lot of kids, and they just need a break. And then sometimes they like to be near either an adult or a peer, so we'll give them a peer buddy sometimes. And then within the tribe room, if they're taking that break, we have lots of different things in there. So if they need to burn off some energy, we got a little scooter thing that they roll around the floor, and the goal is to burn out that energy. We have a tent if they need their own quiet comfort space, so they can kind of go into that and just rest and kind of come down. So it's more about meeting the child where they are, and just trying to partner with them in their experience. We want them to be able to see Jesus.
Yeah, I love the fact that you said it was individualized and not isolated, because a lot of times that's what we'll do with anybody who needs any type of special care, special need, disability, whatever. Like, they'll be isolated from all of the rest of the kids or community or whatever it is. And I love the fact that you guys have the individualized things, but then they're coming in and joining in the praise and worship. They're joining, they're included. Who doesn't want to feel included?
Yeah.
That's what makes it unique.
And I heard you even mention that sensory room. I thought that was a cool element that you were able to add ever since we've had our own physical building. Kind of customizing it based on their needs.
Yeah, and it's been cool. It's definitely been something we've been just, as you build it, they're coming and we're adjusting, but it's awesome in that when the parents come and they have a chance to see it, they know we as a church have thought of their child. Like, we're always looking to grow, always looking to improve, but at a minimum, they know, like, we are welcoming your child in this space. We want you to be able to come and to know that your child is being loved and cared for. And I think the sensory room is a visual representation of the love of Christ that we want to have these families to walk away with.
Yeah, say that one more time. That was the sensory room is a visual representation. I said it for you. The sensory room is a visual representation of the love of Christ for your child. My goodness.
Yeah.
You need to put that on that was good.
No, I agree. How do you think that we as a church, or we as the village, because we are in the village group chat, but we as the village can support families who of special needs children? Like, what are practical things? If you could give us 3 practical ways that we could support them, what would you say?
I think number one is seeing them. And so, for example, here's real practical. When you're in the grocery store, when you're in Walmart, and you're walking down the aisle, and you see a child that is, they may be either flapping their arms, or they may be engaging in a repetitive activity, do not stare at the parent. If the parent, though, is trying to get something off the shelf and they've got a child running away, ask to help. And that's something that you would say even just to a mom that's got like an infant, and it's like, just like, how can you help in that situation? So don't walk away, don't turn your eyes, don't roll your eyes because the child's making a lot of noise. Like, how can I help? So if the mom needs something, can I push your cart? Do you need help? And then that way she can focus on her child. You've got her purse, whatever it is. So those are spaces when you're out in public. And then in your neighborhood, if you have a family, I would say just think about them, not even just at the holidays, but at the most random times. It could be it was a rough week and she's been eating out all week because she hasn't had time, or it was, the child may have had episodes that week and she wasn't able to cook or what have you. So, I mean, things we do during sad times, there may also just be a place where just give her relief from the dailiness of it. Yeah, just like take over a meal, and just because if nothing else, so many of our families are not seen. So they're in the home, they do their day, they go to work, go to school, come home, but outside of that, it's hard to do other things we take for granted. Going to the grocery store is awful. That is not necessarily like something they enjoy doing with their child, because you just never know. Like, is it too late at night that you're trying to go? Is it now going to mess up their schedule? Like, there are other considerations that for us are an annoyance, that for them are like, it's a real conversation of, do I need it tonight or can I go tomorrow? And so I would say just lean in.
Okay. That's the second one. You got a third one? Maybe we as a church?
Yeah, we as a church, I would say...
you can be
when
honest.
you I would say So we may get to a place that we start to have some of our children that decide to stay in service with families. Same thing same thing I just said about the grocery store. If there's a child in service for whatever the reason and there are outbursts, or you notice that they are doing some sort of physical activity which looks different to you, or we have what are called buddy boxes. They may have a set of different things they're playing with. When you see them, or if you see the outbursts, and if the parent happens to catch your eye, like, smile. Let them know that they are welcome. Let our families know they are welcome, and we want them in this space. And just love on them. When you see them, love on them.
That's good.
Yeah.
Those all.
So when they disrupt your church service, just still smile. I know Pastor Matt will preach it, or whoever's preaching.
We got some people who they have no special needs and they disrupt our church service, so I have no issue.
But just love on them. So don't glare, and if you see that they need help, lean in. Don't avoid, don't look away. Lean in. How can I be helpful? If they drop the Bible because they're trying to attend to the child, pick up the Bible. If you see them trying to get a snack and they got the child in one hand, the Bible in the other, and you see they in the snack line, help them. Offer. Right.
I like the term that you said, lean in.
Offer.
Yeah, that's good. So how can someone get connected with or connected to Tribe 139?
Okay, so hopefully I get this right. It's tribe139@zionchurch.org.
Okay.
Yep.
Can email you guys if they want to volunteer. What if they're interested in they're interested in their child being a part of the experience?
Yes. So we have for all of our families, when they come to register, there's a special when you do your registration, it'll say like special needs. If you click that alerts us that your child may just need some additional support. And then if you have specific questions, Tribe 139. And we're super excited. We just finished our first social story that we will be posting online for your child. So in preparation for coming, if you want your child to say, like you were like, what's the student experience? So we literally just finished a video, which would be super cool if we could link to it. I'll have to figure out how to get that to you. But it literally, from a kid's perspective, says step by step, this is what happens when you come in. And it shows the kid, the child, like from the time they hit the parking lot to the time they leave, like this is your experience. It's 1 minute and 36 seconds. It's not a long video. But it's really cool, and so we're excited about that. But so those are the two primary ways.
Before we go though, what are some volunteer opportunities that how can people serve in Tribe? Like, you can be a friend, as you mentioned.
Yes. I would say there are 4 or 5 opportunities. So one is we always love to have folks that are willing to be a peer buddy. So that's where you get to partner one-on-one with the child during service. The second way is we are going to be launching what we're calling respite nights, but as of now they're going to be during the day. But it's just like a 2-hour window where we're going to allow parents to come drop their child off so they can go to the grocery store, go Christmas shopping. The first one will be in December. So we're looking for some folks to come and join us as we care for the children while the parents get a break. That's the second way. That will happen quarterly, so be on the lookout for that. The third way is we are looking for weekly volunteers. We are looking for folks that can come. We only serve at one service, so we only do 11 o'clock, but we're looking for volunteers at all 4 campuses that are able to come and are able to actually help lead a small group in terms of the story, go through the Bible story. And then fourth, in our sensory room, we have a person that stays in there to receive children. So those are probably the 4 ways we really a person could help, and we would love
That's awesome.
We have space for all of them.
Let them know again how they can, if they're interested in serving, how they can email you guys.
Email us, or there's a QR code over at Extreme if you want to hit the QR code. But right now, I would say tribe139@zionchurch.org.
That's awesome, and you guys will train people to,
absolutely.
If they're interested in volunteering, they don't have to be a special education teacher.
Specialist.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I'm not an educator. I just fell into it. It's now been 10-15 years, but no. Just people that with a heart to serve, and it's it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
You're such a great guest.
I'm so glad I invited you to come on this.
Thank you, Pastor Mike. Thank you, Pastor Mike.
you know, I was blown away.
You are a piece of work.
Thank you, that's fine.
Have you ever done like hosting a podcast?
I've never
or
done a
anything?
podcast. This is my first time.
Okay.
Maybe Tribe should get something going. Maybe you need a Tribe 139 podcast where you can talk. She's like, I got enough
We're
on
gonna
my
hang out
plate.
with y'all a couple times a year.
No, but we're so thankful that
Yeah.
you were willing to come and share. You were a great guest,
having
and
us.
you have a wealth of knowledge and a heart to serve. So, guys, I really encourage you just to get involved if you can, some way, somehow. If this is like tugging at your heart a little bit, go check it out and see what all the hype's about. Because I just know great
I'll do a
things.
walkthrough with you. I'll let you come and see the space.
Yeah, you'll get to meet her in person.
I
Yeah.
promise you're gonna come back in and be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that wraps us up.
Yeah,
for this
I
episode,
felt
right?
like today was a very good, informative episode.
Yes.
But then also just helping us understand that we're all one body. We're the
Yes.
church, and
Yeah.
let's ensure that the needs of our church are being met.
Yes.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you sacrificing some time to be here with all the other titles you got. My goodness.
Yeah. All right, well, as we close out, I just want to remind you guys how you can contact us, connect with us. I don't want to say connect with us. You can email us at Village Group Chat, on IG, The Village Group Chat, and me, No Ordinary Mom, No_ordinary_mom on IG.
See, I say Mike J. Rodgers 1.
Okay,
Then you got the no
and-
underscore. That's mine.
Yes.
So since you're
You're a G,
before we
you're a G.
before we whose is more complicated?
Oh, I'm not answering that.
Okay, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Bye.